Hi, I'm Randy Donley here with Mike, and we just got back from
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. Yes, it was a fun trip. We've got a bunch of stuff on the truck. Picked up an interesting gas pump, amongst other things. This isn't a particularly big load. It's an interesting load. A lot of Civil War items, but we've got a gas pump on here we got to bring in right now. Something I've never seen before, kind of an unusual. I've seen doubles, twin globes, but I've not seen this particular one yet. It's a twin cylinder gas pump. It's just one that I've never seen before. I used to collect gas pumps. I thought I've seen everything.
Hi, welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you? You made it. What'd you bring us?
It's an interesting piece.
Sure is.
A twin tower, you'll see a twin globe gas pump. I need one person up here with me. This is heavy. Look at the thickness of this cast iron.
Oh, cast iron, big heavy stuff.
Big heavy.
Auctions.com, yeah.
Yes, okay, now we can't really lift.
I'm going to get out of the way.
We can't really lift.
Or otherwise he's going to put me to work.
Okay, now, I kid you not, Mike and I put this on by ourselves.
What?
I was just going to say, you and Mike did this by yourself.
Yes.
No.
Do watch the podcast today because we've got some very interesting footage and conversations with our special friend, Hope Ryder. You don't want to miss it. Okay, hi, I'm Randy Donley from Donley Auctions. I'm here with Hope Ryder today from, of course, the famous Ryder collection of Nickelodeon's band organs, orchestrions, anything musical, you have it.
Right.
Now, Hope, we've done interviews with you before, and I appreciate your time in talking with us. And what advice would you give a wife whose husband bought their first music machine? Is there anything you would like to warn them about?
I would like to tell them that it's a good hobby, an excellent hobby. Let them go and do what they want to do.
Well, you sure did.
And you know where they are. They're not up to any mischief. They're just having a good time.
Well, again, how many years ago is it that you and Frank started collecting?
In the 50s, early 50s.
In the 50s?
Yeah, we were
Wow.
first married, and we lived in Ohio, and he built a big barn next to our house. We were going to have an apartment up above, and down below he had an antique car and big Crocs and all that, and he'd start going to shows then.
Well, now, right now, I think, correct me, I think you've got a 1916 Buick in your garage. Is that your first antique car?
No. The
Okay.
first antique car was in the 50s, right after we were married. Before we were married, he wanted to buy a nice car, a classic car. I said, do you want to buy that car or do you want to get engaged? So
You gave him the option.
he chose to get me a ring, and he never got that car. I met Frank when he was 15. I was only 14. And I thought, hey, he's an interesting guy. I'm going to keep my eye on him. And my mother lived a block away on the same block as Frank's folks. And they were elderly, and they let Frank do his own thing from the time he was young. And they encouraged him because they knew things were valuable even in those days. And it was prior to it was during the Depression and that. And you kept what you got. And his dad was a duck hunter, excellent duck hunter. And they always had meat on the table during the war because he'd shoot ducks and Grandma'd cook them. And they always had meat.
That's such a cool story.
So I admired that family. I had lost my father shortly before I moved to that town. I admired Jack Ryder. I admired my father, too, who was a lifelong artist. And then after Frank died, I took up art. And I didn't even learn how to use a computer because I was busy learning how to paint, and I have paintings all around my room.
Actually, they're quite good, as a matter of fact. I'm really surprised. There's a couple I've got my eye on myself I've got to talk to you about.
I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to divide them up. I'm going to divide them up among my kids.
There you go.
Yeah.
As well you should. And you know, that's one thing that I have to say I was so impressed about with this whole collection. As we sell it, the family were given machines by you that they wanted. And I just find that fascinating that you first made sure everybody had what they wanted before the collection was offered for sale.
Each had a large orchestrion.
Even you in your apartment here, I noticed you've got about 3 or 4 machines still there.
I didn't want them sold. I brought them over here.
That's great. If there was, over the years, one favorite machine,
Yes.
was there one that you could say that?
Yes. A Seaberg Style E. That's my favorite.
Okay.
I like the tune. It was in Al Capone's route.
Wow.
It was on Al Capone's route in northern Indiana at one time.
Oh, that is so cool. It's got a nice story with it.
It was coin operated.
If the Style E is your favorite machine, do you have a favorite song?
On the banks of the Wabash.
On the Banks of the Wabash.
I love it.
I
Oh,
was just playing that for you on the Jim roller organ, which is
is that what that tune was? Okay.
100 years old.
Wow.
That Jim roller organ is 100 years old.
That is so cool. Frank actually passed away about 20 years ago already.
Yes.
How was it that you kept the collection? Because I know when Frank passed, everybody was trying to buy it. Everyone was after you, wanting this, wanting that.
Right.
But you hung on.
Well, I felt like as a total, it would be worth more than,
Then piecing it out.
piecing it out.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just lived amongst it and kept on painting.
Painting and enjoying your music machines. So now it's time again to pass this on to other collectors who are going to enjoy it the way you and Frank and your boys did for years and years. The advice we gave everybody last time was what? Have at it.
Have at it.
So that's a good thing. So have at it during the auction. You're going to see more and more, and we're going to have more video with Hope. And today, actually, Carl is here today, and so we're going to be asking him to join us in a few minutes, and we'll ask Carl a few questions. That's Al Svoboda. That's WGN television filming his place. This is right there.
Hi everyone, it's Ryan again with Donley Auctions. Today I just wanted to give you a quick teaser about our upcoming Bobby O'Neill collection that will be featured April 18th and 19th. And here's just a couple of the great items that we have. We have a absolutely attractive representation of it's titled Union Prisoners at Salisbury, North Carolina. It is the earliest visual representation of baseball. It is basically Union, Civil War soldiers all playing baseball, and from there they all established New York rules. And it's in an absolutely beautiful frame, UV resistant glass, perfectly accented with the US belt buckles. Absolutely beautiful presentation piece. Going from New York rules to the New York Yankees, it doesn't get much better than Babe Ruth. The Salt of the Swing, they named Yankee Stadium after him. And look at this. I mean, I'm about 6 foot tall. He comes up to my armpit. Beautiful. And the detail of this, I mean, you could just sit here and look at this representation all day. It's crazy lifelike. And it can absolutely be yours in April. Now let's talk football. We have Rudy Rudiger collection. The actual jacket from the movie. We have an autographed placard from the movie, autographed by Rudy. And we have one of the original footballs from the movie. What happened was they recreated this football specifically for the movie. And I believe that they made about 10 copies of it, and this is one of them. So this is one of them that was actually used in the movie, and I believe it was used in the final scene. That I'll definitely find out for sure. And on top of that, when they filmed that, they actually had a Notre Dame football game that day. So they filmed that at halftime. This is actually a pair of player-worn game used gloves from that Notre Dame game from that day. So this is just a small taste of the Bobby O'Neill collection. We have Dick Butkus' alumni ring. We have Hall of Fame busts. We have baseball cards. It is going to be one for the ages. So certainly do not miss it, and keep on our website for any updates, and we are always looking for more material. If you have anything that you're interested in possibly consigning, I'd love to hear from you. I handle the sports and the coins here, so certainly coins are another area that I'll tell you are very extremely near and dear to my heart. Gold and silver are at astronomical levels right now, and a lot of buyers are paying very far back. Where my business model, I could put you directly in contact with the buyer itself, so I could get you better returns. Keep us in mind, and keep an eye out for the Bobby O'Neill collection coming up in April.
Hi, we're back right now here with Hope Ryder and her son Carl Ryder, and we're talking about the Ryder collection, the phenomenal collection being offered at auction at Donley Auctions of music machines galore. Boy, do we have them. Any size, shape, form, any price range. If you can't find something at this auction, you're not a collector. So, Carl, I'd like to start with you. I had just asked Hope what her favorite machine was. Do you have a favorite music machine in all these years of collecting?
Yes, I do. Actually, the machines that are my favorite, I do have. Seeburg Style L Orchestrion, which the Seeburg L is often called the Lilliputian, the small Seeburg. This is a large Seeburg Orchestrion. It's quite like a Seeburg G with one rank of pipes less. That's my favorite. And then I also have a Seeburg Style C, and it's one of my favorites just because of the story of acquiring it. Dad bought it in Chicago at King Arthur's Pub, and I went with him when he picked it up. He double parked the trailer on a Saturday morning in front of King Arthur's Pub. Said if a cop comes up here, just tell him we're moving the jukebox. He went into the place, told the guys there that he'd buy him around if they'd help him load it up, and they wheeled it out and loaded it. Well, Dad turned it into an orchestrion because at that time he didn't have an orchestrion.
Okay.
Built it up, and then after Dad's passing and Mom gave it to me, David Ramey went through it and did a rebuild on it. And they call it the Seeburg CR Special. It's a lot of YouTube hits for it.
Well, you bring up the name David Ramey, who we all know, of course, in the industry, and you'll see more of on the video. We're going to be doing many, many more of these videos as we show you the Ryder collection, and you'll meet Dave on some of these videos because he's going to be making sure everything is in good working order. Now, certainly this collection has been maintained over the years and everything is in working condition. But when you move a machine, sometimes parts maybe come apart, sometimes they loosen up and everything. So we're going to make sure that Dave Ramey goes over everything so that it's all in good working order for you. But Hope, I've got a question, and that is, was there ever a machine that you just wanted to pull the plug on? You were either tired of hearing it or it was just too loud?
Well, I don't want to say which one it is because it won't sell then.
Well, thank you. I'm glad it's not one that you gave me.
Well, I wouldn't do that to you.
And again, I want to bring that up. I'm so impressed with the fact that you made sure the family had what they wanted first. And now we've mentioned that the two boys that we've introduced to you so far is Carl here and his brother Mark. But there was a third brother.
Yes, older brother John.
John.
He's 2 years older than I.
And John passed away how
Last
long?
year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, was he a collector also?
Yes, John was.
Okay. And so all three sons actually fell right into the hobby with
Oh, yeah.
with Dad
Yeah.
and Mom.
John less so than the other two.
Well, and it's hard not to. I'll tell you, I want everything. I come in your house, I want this, I want this, I want this. Now, I'll tell you, and this interview is not about me, but one of the hardest problems that I have being in the auction business is I will not buy at my own auctions.
Oh.
Because at every auction, there will be items that will go cheap, some will go high, but if an auctioneer bought every good deal at his own auction company, nobody'd ever come. Yeah. They'd say, well, there's no good deals to be had. The auctioneer always buys it. And I got to tell you, it's hard sometimes to not buy, even at full retail prices, because some great stuff is in your auction. There's probably at least a dozen items that I would like to own myself. It's so you're getting the deals out there and the fabulous merchandise that the Ryder family is now passing on to the next generation of collectors. But I have to say, I'm also surprised at the volume of music that you have, the amount of rolls. Mm-hmm. That just doesn't happen. When we get into most collections, they might have 3 rolls with this, 5 rolls with that. How did you ever acquire all those rolls?
I didn't. Frank did.
Yeah.
Well, he got them at auctions, didn't he?
I'm not sure where they all came from. A lot of the rolls, particularly the Nickelodeon A rolls and G rolls, Dad kept machines out on location for many years in sites around towns surrounding Wabash. And he'd change the roll every few weeks, and he just acquired different rolls. And it's interesting, in many of the rolls inside the boxes, he'll record the date and the receipts of where it was at on location.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And I'd count the dimes.
Dimes recorders.
And he had me take out the silver dimes, and then he kept it all. That's okay.
You know, one thing also that interests me, the minute I walk in the house, I've noticed an awful lot of Al Svoboda memorabilia. And we'll talk a little bit more about Al Svoboda, so those of you who aren't familiar will teach you a little bit more about Al Svoboda's Nickelodeon Inn in Chicago, Illinois. But do you remember meeting Al Svoboda?
We knew him for years. See, Carl had a lot of surgery when he was young on his hand in Chicago. So we'd go up there, and then we'd take him into the hospital and met him, the big hospital in downtown Chicago. And then we'd go out to dinner, and we'd go to, over to Ramey's, or we'd go over to the Nickelodeon Tavern, or Frank would. I wouldn't go in taverns in those days, and I particularly wouldn't let the boys go in. And so later on, I loosened up a little, and I can remember Al and his wife behind the bar. She was kind of rough talking, but I got to know her a little bit. Yeah, we knew Al and John. Dave Ramey and Tom Sprague would be up there fixing the Nickelodeons for the tavern, and so I knew all those people. And you know, Al Capone used to come in the tavern.
That's a known fact. Al Capone was a visitor of Al Svoboda's, and that's crazy. But you've acquired a lot of machines. It seems like out of the Al Svoboda collection. Did you buy those while he was still open, or did you acquire those when they closed and had the auction? Or a combination of both?
We acquired those before the auction.
I see.
He knew Al, and he knew we wanted to open an ice cream parlor. And so Al sold us all of those ice cream chairs. And we had a back bar already. We had everything to open an ice cream parlor. And then all of a sudden Frank says, well, I don't want to be tied down. So we had all this stuff from Svoboda's and just kept it at home.
Al Svoboda loved to tell the story about in the women's washroom, there was a mannequin of a Native American, an Indian, and he had a loincloth on. And anytime the loincloth was picked up, a big siren went off in the bar. Now, the women couldn't hear it in the restroom, but anybody that was a regular at Al Svoboda's knew what the siren meant. And in fact, Al said 3 nuns walk into the restroom. And he said the siren never stopped going off. He said that siren was on for the longest time. He said then it would go off, it would come back on again. He said he never heard the siren go off so many times. So, for what it's worth, that's an Al Svoboda story.
Yeah, Svoboda's had something that I remember that was really neat. They had various things that people would pitch coins at. And for example, if you threw the coin up and got it in the tray in front of the moose's eyes would light up, or a train would go behind the bar or something. But there was a piece in the Chicago newspaper showing Al scooping up coins with a shovel that were behind the bar after he closed the place.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that was the days of the old nickel, it was called Al Svoboda's Nickelodeon Inn. And nickels, quarters, you name it. But what was interesting about the place, if you remember, is everybody played the machines all at the same time. Everybody was in, the machines were just lined up, and everybody just kept throwing money in machines, and it was hard to hear what you were listening to because everything was being played at the same time.
Yeah.
Pandemonium.
It was chaos.
Yeah.
Pandemonium.
They had the new place and the old place. The old place, I believe, was at 54th and Butler.
Okay.
And then what they called the new place was somewhere in the region leaving Chicago.
Yeah,
Going
Chicago
towards
Heights,
Indiana.
yeah. Uh-huh. And you know, I was never to the new place. I had such good memories as a kid, you know, with the old place that I never cared to go to the new one. So
No.
I never went there.
It never was the same.
Yeah.
And somehow Al had to hurry up and get rid of stuff. And that's how Frank was able to get so much stuff, because he was present, he was there, and he could haul it away.
Yeah.
And actually, I remember visiting with Al many times after the Svoboda's Nickelodeon Tavern closed. He and his wife, I believe, lived there, lived very close to it. They may have had an apartment upstairs or something.
I think they did, yeah.
But we would go to the Chicago Coin Op Show, usually on a Saturday morning. And then that Saturday afternoon on our way home, we'd stop visit with Al and just see how he's doing and everything. And I know the last time we saw Al, we stopped and saw him in a nursing home where he was at.
Yeah.
He's a heck of a good guy.
Al came down to our house. Flo, his wife, would never travel with him. In fact, she wouldn't let Al travel either because he had to stay there and keep things going. But one time, he managed to come to a Musical Box Society meeting, and he loved it. Really loved it.
That's great. Well, you know, Carl just mentioned the Chicago slot machine show. And in fact, the Ryder auction will be this year, the week before the slot machine show and jukebox show, so that you're going to be able to buy and bid and everything. And if you're from out of state and you're bidding online, you'll be able to then pick up the items the following week when you come in for the Chicagoland show. So the timing is going to be beautiful. It's going to be a great event. This is not something you want to miss. The Ryder family has put together, as you can see in the catalog, one of the most amazing music collections that has been in private hands. And what an event this is. And again, I'm so proud and honored that you picked Donley Auctions to help you with this project. And it's great.
Well, we've known of Donley Auctions for years.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. And I've mentioned this too before on the podcast that's how I met Frank years ago when he came back way years ago to the phonograph show at the Wild West Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go there but once because I wasn't interested in phonographs. But Frank went.
Well, and you know what, Frank was so smart in the fact that he'd come to the phonograph show, and he was really one of the only people that understood orchestrions, band organs, Nickelodeons, and that kind of stuff showed up at the phonograph show, but the phonograph guys weren't interested. Yeah. And Frank could get in there and be one of the people that understood it and could get some bargains there. So well played, Frank.
Dad kept very good history on everything that he bought, and will provide that prominence for the various items. And he researched it. In many cases, he knew where its earlier locations were. If it came from another collector, that was always written down.
For the ladies out there, when Frank would bring home a big, massive new piece like one of these orchestrions, did he have to ask permission, or did he just wait and show up with it in the truck?
He'd show up when I was working as a nurse. I wouldn't dare to object.
Well, Mom, you had the Regina one time. You were working second shift at one of the local nurses' homes. Mom was an RN. And a picker from Iowa, a guy by the name of Tom Freddy, used to stop out and see Dad when he was on his buying trips out this way. Anyway, they somehow traded things around. But Dad traded a Regina that Mom liked for a cheese toasty machine.
A musical box, Regina. And that was precious. I used to put Mark, our youngest boy, to sleep to the music of the Regina. I said, "You sold that?" without letting me know. And of course, Tom Freddy stood there and kept his mouth shut. And
But
I
Dad
said,
got you another.
"That table doesn't go because I took care of Grandma all those years, and that table stays here." He says, "Okay, I'll get you another Regina," and he did.
And it matches the table. The other one was mahogany on an oak table, and the one he got you was oak.
Whatever.
That's great. Well, the sandwich machine is definitely going to be in this auction.
Oh, the cheese toasty.
The cheese toaster.
You know that? That probably was down in, it was at Indiana Beach
Oh, wow.
on the boardwalk.
Okay.
They
I
would
don't
sell.
know the cheese toasty was there.
They would sell toasted cheese sandwiches from the cheese toasty.
When I was a kid, the Bohemians used to call it ches bread.
Ches bread.
Why? I don't know. It wasn't cheese toast, ches bread. Out of all the people that you could ever remember coming to visit, anybody famous ever stop by the house?
A bunch of big collectors from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know as I'll go to the auction. It might wear me out. I'm 93 years old. But I wish you all well.
Thanks so much, Hope. So I hope you liked everything today. We do have an online auction this week, right? The 15th. And you don't want to miss that. And of course, always think about calling us for consignments. We're always looking for more. And we're looking for you to be the story topper. What do you have that's fabulous and great that people are going to want to see, because we want to get it on our podcast? So for now,
I'm Mike.
And I'm Randy Donley, and we'll see you at the auction.